So we're back with another video on American Patriot. Like and subscribe if you like my content. Well, here we are with some really crazy things that are happening right now. This election is coming to a close and things are getting out of control. Today I watched some live videos. Of course, not on mainstream media, but personal people making personal videos, and we truly have helicopters landing on the lawn in D.C. and everything, doing drills and everything to evacuate D.C. You know what's really crazy about that? Is that even though the Democrats see this, the people out here, the civilians, they're still going to vote for these people. And they're assisting them. The same people that are going to bail out of here after they've caused all this chaos in this country. You know what I don't understand about the military doing that? Is why would the military be aiding and abetting a bunch of criminals in Washington? They're flying them out, what, for their safety? Aren't they the ones that did all this to our country? I mean, how does that happen? How does corruption get so bad that they're even being assisted by the military to get them out of here? What are they afraid of? What are they running from? They're constantly saying that everybody's lying, that they're not corrupt, and that they don't do any wrong. But here they are running. And then they were saying that the possibility of them declaring martial law on January 6th. Can you imagine that? These dudes caused all this mayhem in this country and all the disaster with their corruption. And now they're looking to bail out of here and leave everyone else hanging to dry, left and right, Democrats and Republicans. And these are the people that you Democrats are fighting so hard to keep in power, the same ones that caused all this to our country and now are bailing out. So now also President Trump made a comment on TV, on one of his speeches or whatever, and he says, he was speaking in reference to Liz Cheney, and he said that she's a warmonger, and then he was saying, and it was clear as day for anyone that has any sense, he was saying that if you like war so much, and I've even said this on my last videos, if you like war so much, why don't you go out there and see what it feels like to have 9 barrels pointed at you? In other words, you're sitting in a nice, comfortable place in Washington, and you're ready to send our troops 10,000 right away to face death and everything else from a comfortable chair. But being that you're the one that likes war so much, why don't you go out there? So what did the mainstream media do? Oh, Trump is calling for violence against this Liz Cheney, that she should be assassinated, and all this other bullshit that everybody that has sense knows that that's not even what was said. But they take all these certain pieces and clips out of whatever he says to fit the narrative, which is the corruption narrative, right? So now the Washington Post, right, lost 10% of their people and subscribers and all that. This is a sign that the people are real tired of the corruption and they're done with it. They're just done with it, And they're bailing out because they know that they've been lied to. They know they're still being lied to, but they refuse to correct that because they are all bought by the same corruption. And of course, we all know who those guys are, right? The elitists and the globalists buying everybody out and destroying the United States of America. So now, they were claiming that now Jeff Bezos was telling the Post there not to endorsed Kamala Harris and everything, and they're saying now that he's just trying to get on Trump's good side and everything because he knows that his business has a lot to do with the federal government. So, the elitists right away are going to protect their money real quick. And the elitists have no loyalty to no one. They just got loyalty to for a while. Or not even loyalty, but they only want to go with the people that can help them even make more money, because that's what it's always about. It's about money. It doesn't matter about the people or the country. It's just about making money, right? So, you have all this going on now, and people walking around and still claiming that, all these things are lies and that these things are not true. Now you got people recording their votes on these electronic voting machines. And no matter how many times they hit Trump, you could see it right there, click over to Kamala Harris. And here you people are fighting not to get Trump in office, but you rather these criminals be in office. They're all in the same. They're all the same. They work for the globalists. They don't work for you. I don't understand what your big thing is about helping these people. They're just a bunch of criminals. They're just typical criminals in suits. They're nothing more, nothing less. So now all this is going on and it's all coming to a close. Now let me tell you something. If they really do that and they decide to declare martial law, you know how crazy that is? And it's like I was saying, if they're practicing bailing out, it's because they're going to do something horrible to this country. And now Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, is talking about, he must know because he's talking about it, that China, Iran, Russia, and all these people are funneling money into the Democratic Party, right? But these are the same people that told you that Trump had a Russia collusion going on, that, outside people are influencing, the elections and all that. And it's them. It's them doing it. And now they're starting to bring all these things to light. And it's like, wow. So basically, I would imagine that if you're still voting for the criminal enterprise, you're just a person that ain't even in the real world. And you rather the United States be run by thugs and criminals than people that can literally help you. So it's just too much, and it's too real what's going on right now. It is amazing what's going on. It is not in any way, shape, or form a joke. This is real. And now there's another guy that put a video out showing you from the Homeland Security, and they're just putting it on now, that there's like this major cyber attack, that is maybe going to happen, and this and that, all over this election. So a couple things are going to go down, and a lot of things are happening right now. So these people are setting the stage for their plan, and like I've always said it, they always tell you what it is that they're doing. And they're doing it right now. They're telling you right now. They're letting you know that something's going to happen here where most likely they're going to try to say that the election is no good because the system got hacked. They're going to ruin everything to that point. And then when they see the reaction of the people, and that the people are not having the criminal enterprise just commit these crimes and get away with it, then right away they're going to try to use lethal force. And I told you about the DOD and all that. It's because they're criminals. They're getting ready. They're getting ready that they know that the people of this country have had it with their crap. And they're figuring that these, too much evidence is out there that they're criminals and that they're doing a lot of bad things. So they're getting ready to defend that position no matter what. And I've told you on the left side so many times over and over on my videos, you people help these people. You guys aided and abetted the criminals that are in Washington to bring our country to this point. And like I was saying, as much as you cheer those people on, they're about to leave you hanging. They're going to leave you out to dry. They are not sticking around for this party. They started this whole war with the corruption. And this guy still talking about that he will not, no matter what, he will not certify President Trump. Telling you to your face that he doesn't give a shit who you vote for. He doesn't give a shit about the people or what you think. He works for the elitists, and they're going to put in the president that they feel should be the president, not what you say. Just like they took and put Kamala in there without a primary and told you, the Democratic Party, who was going to be the person that was going to run for the Democratic side. You didn't even vote for that. And you didn't even think, not one bit, that was a horrible thing right there in itself. That you, that same party, didn't even get to choose. And I told you, they did that, and now they just want to tell you who the president's going to be, regardless of the elections. So these people now have people out there in lines that have been out there in lines in 4, 6 hours waiting to vote. What does that do? That makes you say, you know what, I ain't going to stay here no longer. You'll go home and you won't vote. That's the name of that game. And again, the people processing these votes and working for the process of voting in all these different places in different states and stuff, Pennsylvania and all that, they're all part of that because they think they're doing something great for the country. And actually, they're just helping a bunch of criminals. Isn't that crazy? I don't know, man. This is really getting crazy and it's insane, but our world's about to change. Our world is about to change in a few days. I told you. And you know what? When that change happens and when that goes down, because that's where they're heading with this, everybody's got a lot of hope on this election. But if this election goes south because of the criminality from Washington, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. And the worst part is that they are literally going to try to hurt the people. That's how bad this crime mafia in Washington has gotten. That now they're going to try to even hurt the people because the people didn't want to deal with the criminality. That's what this is basically about, And then you have people like in the Washington Post, they had this news interview. I forget the guy's name, but he literally ripped his earpiece out and said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing that. And not only that, he walked off that live feed because these people, he kept telling them, he put out the whole scenario. So you can't just put half of it. You got to put the full story because he knows this. He actually quit. People have had it to a point that they just cannot deal with this anymore. Even people from the left side, they have had it. They don't want to do this anymore. They don't want to be part of the crime. They don't want to be part of this criminal enterprise anymore. And these people, are just horrible. I just can't understand how people still believe in them and help them in the polling places, in the polling booths. They help them. The military is going to, assist and aid a bunch of criminals to escape, and, like almost as if, they know that these people someday are going to be held to some accountability for what they've done to this country. I've never in my life have I ever seen or heard anything like that. That even our military and police right away running over there, they're going to run over there to protect all the criminals and put them in helicopters and fly them away. I don't understand how that even works. I can't even fathom that thought. Our own military going to be used to aid a bunch of criminals that caused all of this in this country. Unreal, man. This is just, and I'm telling you, for you people that are blind and can't see this, you people, man, let me tell you, you people are a big blame for this too, for the destruction of our own country. And I don't want to see where it is that you're going to live. Where you going now? Now that America's going to go down, if this election goes south, things are going to get real crazy out here. And somewhere along the line, you think that if, hypothetically, the country goes into massive chaos, somewhere along the line, you really believe that it was a good idea, right? You Democratic people, hard radicals, you really believe that this was a good idea? Is this what you wanted? Because now you're going to get exactly what you wanted. A destroyed country, your own home destroyed, and people out there killing each other and everything. This is your doing. And even though that news kept telling you that it was, the right and the Republicans and all that, they lied to you and you just kept going with that. And now if this gets that crazy to the point, I have to assume that it is going to get insane. Because if DC's planning a bail, it's going to be a bad deal in America. My guess is if they are going to declare martial law, the criminals are actually, for no reason, because there's nothing going on out here. But if they're going to declare martial law, it's because they're going to take it upon themselves to get rid of the Constitution, something that's existed in all the time America's existed. And all of a sudden you get a handful of people come along and take your rights away just like that. And this is what you were so hell-bent on. I told you this wasn't about no gay, straight, LGBT abortions. This was much deeper than that. You people just couldn't see past the hate. You just couldn't see past the hate. And look where we're at now. You know what? Honestly, even though you can't see it, people like me are hoping and praying that the election doesn't go south and that President Trump does get into office, because it's going to save us from the most disastrous plan that these globalists had for America, which was going to be the most deadliest thing ever. The most deadliest thing ever in our country. All because the politicians sold themselves out and do not want to be prosecuted for their crimes, from money laundering, inside trades, lobbyists being bought, all the way to treason. And because none of them want to face that music, They're hell bent on causing this disaster. And they used you. They used you to achieve that goal. And you didn't even think twice because you were so worried about my body, my choice. Well, we're going to see about my body and my choice now. We're going to see about if this is about LGBT. We're going to see if this is about abortions. We're going to see if this is about gay, straight, left to right. I told you, this had nothing to do with that. All of those things have always existed. But they fed you flames. They fed the flames with the media. And now the media has become useless pretty much. And the majority of this country, even if they were on the left, changed their mind. And why did they change their mind? Because they can see what I can see finally. They can see the disaster that's on its way. Because of this insane mentality. And you know what? This was bigger than you. This was more about future generations. This was about our kids, our grandkids, And you people just screwed this up. You took your freedom and you took your liberties and everything else so for granted that this is what you brought the country to. This is what you did to our country. You should feel real proud of yourselves that you weren't strong enough, that you weren't brave enough, and that you just refused to think for yourself and let someone else dictate to you what to think, what to say, and what to do. And instill fear in you, fear-mongering you on mainstream media about this President Trump. Wow. Like I said, bad times are coming if this goes south, and it already looks like it is, just by all this stuff that's happening, all these people planning a bail, DOD, all this stuff about American military able to kill Americans on American soil. All these things are bad. None of that equals something good. They always tell on themselves. And here we are. So, if it goes south, and you watch this country burn down, and millions of people laying dead in the streets and all over the place, maybe you should feel real proud of yourself. Real proud of yourselves. Because you people, I blame you just as much as I blame the corrupt. The corrupt only got this far because they used you and brainwashed you to believe that a government should be run by a bunch of criminals, true criminals, that now are even looking to exterminate us with military power. And here you are. I bet you still today, you can't wait to cast a vote. You're still trying to help them out. This ain't going to be no regular election like any other. This one here is going to determine the rise or the fall of this country. There's not going to be another election after this one. You can count on that. And if the people, once this becomes the tyrannical government that's going to happen here, if it goes their way, no matter what they do to you, you're going to have to eat it. And you're going to have to swallow it. Because you encouraged that to happen. You're not going to have a say anymore. Especially if they get rid of that Constitution. Your rights are gone. So now you're going to be at the mercy of criminals telling you how to live, telling you what to do every day of your life. And this is what you thought was an amazing game, an amazing defeat. This is what you cheered on. This is what you rioted about. This is what you should feel so proud about, right? As if you had no brain. As if you don't know the difference between bad and good. As if you had no idea. As if you just couldn't think for yourselves. And all you can do is mimic like parrots everything you heard on TV. Right? Unbelievable, man. It's a sad day in our country if we don't win that election. I'm going to tell you right now. Things are going to change forever for us as a nation and as a people. This is going to be real bad. I hope to God it doesn't go to that, but all the signs and everything they're doing are looking in that direction, are heading in that direction. I told you, this was not going to be a good thing. Fear? None. At the end of the day, the worst a man could do is take my life, and I won't even know I'm dead. I'm just pissed off that this never should have happened. As an American, I am beyond pissed because this stupidity should have never happened. This ignorance should have never happened in our country. It should have never happened. But it is happening, and we're looking at it. There you go. And like I said, for all of you guys that were so tired of being free, and so tired of having rights, and so tired of free speech, here you are. Here it is. Wow. You imagine? Can you imagine? Now you see, it wasn't about racism and it wasn't about any of that shit. It was just them with their plan to control you and break this country down. Like I said, this has never been about us. Left, right, Democrat, Republican. It was never about us. It was always about the globalists and their plan to destroy this country. But you could not see that. You weren't smart enough to see this. And now it's playing out in front of you, right in front of you. And I guarantee you the majority of you still don't see it. And I know you don't, because there you are, being part of a fraud election. Right there, helping them, assisting them to destroy a country. They got you believing that freedom is not good. They got you believing that free speech is not good. They got you believing everything they wanted you to believe. And you believed it. And everything that made America great, they made you hate it. And the reason you fell for it is real simple. It's because you've been a bunch of spoiled brats that have had it too good. Weak men bring these kind of pains. Here you are. We're going to see if you're going to be parading around now. You ain't going to be parading like that anymore. If this goes south, them parading days are over. Over. You're laughing and playing games and talking all this shit. That shit is over. Go ahead and say something out of the way that you shouldn't say and see what's going to happen. Ask anybody that came here from China. Go ahead, ask them. You want to know the truth? Don't listen to CNN. Go ask a couple of Chinese people that escaped communism so they can tell you what that's like if you wanted to know the truth. Welcome to it. If this goes south, welcome to it. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be that easy, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of deaths by the millions, all because of a bunch of fools that let a handful of people bullshit you all the way to this point. And I ain't telling you no bullshit. I ain't telling you nothing that ain't happening. All this shit is happening. And you don't believe it maybe because you're not watching it on mainstream media. But if you got your head out your ass and you started doing some research, you'll figure this out too. The shit that's really happening out there. And this is what you guys did. So, now, God help us. We got no other way now. Sometimes it just is what it is, isn't it? And now, you're gonna have to put on your big boy pants now. Pull your panties up, pull your drawers up. This is where it's coming to it, right? So, we're gonna find out, but I knew the big move was coming. And I knew that they were gonna do something big. I knew it. I knew it because they were telling us they were gonna do it. But, left to be seen. But it's pretty much common sense to most of us. So hopefully, I pray to God that that man does win. I pray to God that Trump wins because you know what? It will avoid such a massive disaster. A massive disaster. When I say massive, I mean massive. Not everybody's going to bend the knee to these people. Millions of Americans are not just going to bow to corruption. They're not going to do it. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, it'll be a bad situation. You know, it's like any typical criminal. Just because they wear suits don't mean they ain't criminals. They ain't no better than the mob on the street. They ain't no better than the killers in the street. They're no better than the guy in the corner with a hood on and a gun in his waist. They're no better than that. They're even worse. They're powerful criminals. So it's a little different. It's even worse. To the point that they even got the military ready to bail them out. Ready to aid the criminals right out of there. So, we're going to see. God help us all. God help us all. Well, I figured I'd say that today because I was just researching all these things that I'm talking about. If you don't believe me, look it up. The videos are out there. There's no denying it. The whole fraud with the voting, the whole cyber thing, and that's coming from Homeland Security and all that. Just before that, they said that somebody leaked out all the codes to get into those voting computers and all that bullshit. Who do you think did all that? Ain't none of us got those codes. None of us have that. Only they have that shit. So if it got leaked out, it was them. Who the fuck else is gonna leak it out? It ain't gonna be nobody else. Oh man. Whatever. You know, just whatever at this point with you people. Yeah, just, you know, it's just tiring. You're tiring. You've been tiring. You guys have just ruined our country is what you did with your bullshit ideologies, man. So, anyway, God help us. God bless America. God bless us, Patriot. All you patriots out there. I guess things are just going to play out and we'll see. We'll find out what they're going to do. What other criminality they're going to pull off this time. You guys be safe out there. God bless you.